there was another one that was, here's the mission.
We go. 2, 3, 4.
Hola, buenos dias. My name is Karen Polnitz. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I serve so gratefully as your Director of Lifelong Learning. Mi nombre es Karen Polnitz, mi pronombre es ella, y sirvo con gratitud como su directora del aprendizaje de por vida. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California on this Labor Day weekend. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue church campus. Welcome to everyone on our online church campus. And welcome to everyone joining the service at their own time and date on Facebook or YouTube. We are one congregation in many places. Somos una congregación en muchos lugares. Unitarian Universalism believes that inclusivity and welcome are religious values that lead us into the creation of beloved community. That is why it thrills me to say that we are welcome here no matter our race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. Our neurodiversity is welcome here. We are welcome no matter the level of our formal education or the amount of money we have. Our disabilities are welcome here. We are welcome with or without documentation, con o sin papeles. Everyone from the LGBTQIA+ community is welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. All are welcome here. Our Alluvial Avenue campus was built on the homeland of the Yokuts people, which was invaded, stolen, and colonized by European settlers starting in 1772. This land acknowledgement is only a starting point in our commitment to building an inclusive community. As part of that commitment, we invite you to learn more about the rich culture and present-day challenges facing the Yokuts and Western Mono tribes. If you are on our online campus and want your joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude included in today's service, just text it to us at 559-337-3772. Please be sure to include your name as well so we know who you are. You can also type it into the chat box. Now, in person, in the quiet of our hearts, or in the chat box, let us say good morning, buenos dias, to one another.
And then I'm going to ring, that's when you would sing the prayer.
No, but it's there. Helps the choir. Yeah, it's real easy in this room. I mean, if you can hear it up here, then you're fine. It permeates. It just permeates the room. Shake that shit.
It's really good practice. Good morning. good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Diana Ingram, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm a very proud member of our worship team, and it is truly my honor to be here today as your worship leader. As we explore how our beliefs over the course of our spiritual journeys affect us, we are being blessed today with three brave members of our congregation sharing their personal spiritual journeys with us. Now, our Minister Rev, Tim, is away this weekend, but no worries. He will be right back here next week with his sermon entitled, The Most Important Thing of All. So all week, you can be thinking, what is the most important thing of all? Now I invite you to allow the sound, tension there, of our team shout to guide us to a place of peace and tranquility.
Three, four.
When all the dark clouds roll away and the sun begins to shine, I see my freedom from across the way, and it comes right in on time when it shines so bright and it gives so much light, and it comes from sky above, and it feels so free, makes me feel like me, and it lights my life with love, and it seems like, and it feels like,
It feels like,
and it seems like, and it feels like,
it feels
a
like
brand new day, brand new day,
a brand new day,
yeah,
a brand new day.
I was lost and double-crossed, with my hand behind my back.
Now, if you have a candle or chalice with you on our online campus, bring it close because we'll be lighting it soon. The light that blesses us all each morning is the same light that has given hope to people for endless ages. Light has such symbolic resonance, such an uplifting effect on us that has continued and will continue to offer us the hope and the power to face each new day. We honor that light by the lighting of this chalice, and may the light of our chalice this morning remind us of hope and overflowing joy. In that spirit, please light your chalice or candle at home. And Sharon is lighting and kindling our flame in our Alluvial Avenue campus. Now, thank you, Sharon. Let us rise now in body or in spirit and join in singing, Morning Has Broken.
1, 2, 3.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the springing, fresh from the world. Surge la aurora, cual la primera, canta la urraca, voz inicial. Lora al canto, lora al alba, y a su principio trascendental. Sweet the rain, snowfall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dewfall on the first day. Praise for the sageness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where our feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden's of flame. Praise with elation, praise every morning, love's recreation of the new day.
La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amor inclusivamente, creer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice.
You're so good. I was going to say, please be seated. You already know what to do. It's wonderful. Now is the time that we bring our focus to our breathing. You know, there's so many ways of breathing. When we are active, we may be short of breath. When we experience something extremely special, it can take our breath away. Then there are the moments that we tune into the gift of breath, using our breathing to restore calm and to reconnect with our better self. So let us now all take in a deep breath of peace, and then release that breath as we breathe out love. And again, we take in a breath of peace, and then we release that breath and we breathe out love. And one last time, a cleansing breath in of peace, and then a joyful breath out of love. Now, resting in this place of centeredness, I invite you to reflect on two gentle questions. In the past week, did you reach out to anyone with kindness or compassion? What intention do you want to carry with you into this new week? It seems to me that each week we are surrounded by calm and chaos, joy and sadness, concerns and gratitude. Some of this morning dropped by the little table there and filled out. Thank you. And while some of us on our online campus text your joy, sorrows, concerns, or gratitude, let's listen now to some of what we are feeling. Please hold Sharon Bach in your hearts as her mother recently passed into the mysteries of death. Vicky has concern for the people of Palestine. Please join Peace for Palestine protest Wednesday at Tulare from 11 to 1 if you are able. Lori has a great concern for a member, Robin C., who is painfully navigating challenges at Clovis Community Hospital. We collectively hold all that has been shared this morning and all that lies in the sacredness of our hearts. We also remember that tomorrow we will celebrate two important dates. Labor Day, which recognizes the importance of the American worker and the importance of labor unions. We also celebrate VJ Day, that day that marked the end of World War II, ending years of death and destruction. We also hold close our beloveds who are unable to be with us because of health or mobility, including Chris E., Betty P., Andrew L., KP, Armin B., Bev F., Glenda R., and Pat M. We understand that we are all connected with each other, with every living thing, and with our wonderful world, of which we are the shared stewards. All are beloved, and all are worthy of respect and care. For all that has been shared this morning, we light our candle of community. Thank you, Sharon. As our candle burns, please join your voices in singing our call to meditation, Spirit of Life. Let us now join in the spirit of reflection and prayer. Let us pray. In this shared moment of our life journey, may we let our minds clear. May we open every part of our being and listen well. May we open our spirits to the magnificence of possibilities that lie within us. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Today, we have the utter joy of hearing from 3 brave members of our congregation who will be sharing moments from their own spiritual journey. We've asked them to reflect on where their spiritual journey began, on a spiritual belief that they've discovered in their adult life, and how they came to that belief. Our guest speakers are Nancy Richardson, Emily Kizinga, and Tiki Inake Posey. Let me tell you just a little about each of them. Now retired, Nancy Richardson has been a member of this congregation for more than 50 years, during which time she has dabbled in various civic issues. Emily was raised in the UU Church of Fresno and keeps busy as a member of the worship arts team, as an instructional support coach in Central Unified School District, and she is the mom of the world's 2 cutest kids. Except for mine. No. Tiki Posey is a new member of UU. and they are currently a doctoral candidate for a PhD in psychology, and she is the owner of Inicam, a mindful communication business. Now, before we hear from Nancy, Emily, and Tiki, I invite us to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing, Gather the Spirit.
One, two, three, one, two, three.
My religious journey began in Klamath Falls, Oregon, at the Episcopal Church. My father grew up Catholic, my mother Presbyterian, so they decided our family would go to the Episcopal Church. The minister taught the children parables. One was of a master who tasked his longtime worker with building him a house. Plentiful funds were supplied. The worker used inferior materials and kept the difference. When the house was completed, the master thanked the worker for his lifetime of labor and told him the house was for him, the laborer, and his family. Oops. I've always remembered that. For all these decades, I have heeded the parable, and I've never built a house. However, I have cheated. I ate some jelly beans from an Easter basket to be given to the minister's daughter who was sick. She was about my age. My mother had to have noticed that there were hardly any jelly beans left in the basket, but she didn't say anything, which made it even worse. I kept waiting for the consequences of my actions. My spiritual journey did not go smoothly. When I was about 5 years old, my mother decided she had to break me of my habit of swearing. So she bought as an incentive a glass toy telephone, filled it with, jelly beans, and put it on top of the upright piano until I could cease cussing. Yeah. You know, that damn thing is still on top of the piano. While living in Portland, I discovered that the junior high and high school kids at the Episcopal Church skipped the church school class and went to the alley and smoked. I never smoked. My Episcopal life ended when, as a young adult, I took a class at an Episcopal church in Ventura, where I lived at the time, and I asked a lot of questions. The exasperated minister said, "You sound like a Unitarian." I didn't know what that was, but clearly it was not something good. A couple of decades ago at this church, I facilitated classes called Building Your Own Theology. Notice I didn't use any profanity in the title or anything, because I had grown up by then. I and the participants from our congregation learned a lot from one another and from the materials we assembled and studied. Some of those people are here today. Please raise your hand if you are one of those survivors. See? See? Oh, yes, good. Thank you. They were all excellent students. At the first class, I told them that they would be writing their own statement of beliefs by the end of the 8-week session. They were terrified. I assured them they could write it in pencil and change it throughout the rest of their life. At the end of each 8-week session, we closed with a potluck and a reading of those statements. The food, of course, was great, and the statements were always very affirming and powerful. Among other sources, we drew from the UU principles, which have been revised recently, but the old ones are still good. They speak of encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations and a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, etc. These principles reflect active and ongoing work, not a finite, concrete, immutable set of truths. Thus, a religious spiritual belief that I came to adopt an adult is that, metaphorically, our beliefs should always be written in pencil, not ink. It is our job to listen, learn, read, question, discuss, and grow. Our work is never finished. If in any 5-year period our beliefs remain unchanged, I think it means we have forfeited the opportunity to internalize new beliefs and practices we could have added to our fund of knowledge, understanding, and, yes, wisdom. We would have missed the richness of what lies before us and passed by the treasures that life offers. I've been a member of this congregation for over 50 years. I usually sit in the back because I like to meet new people who often sit in the back. I cherish all of the people, some of whom I've known for decades, some I know less well, and some I have yet to meet. It's an unending parade of delights. Finally, I will share with you my new personal daily spiritual practice. Lately, my eyes have, well, gone kind of bad. My doctor has me doing lots of stuff, including putting a hot compress on my eyes several times a day for 5 to 15 minutes. I like the eye mask like this. I realize you can't see it very well, but it has little beads in it, and you can put it in the microwave and heat it up, or you can chill it. You can't do much else when your eyes are covered. I have come to relish my multiple little vacations, and I've learned not to use that time to mentally organize what I need to get done by the end of the day. I recommend eye masks. I wish I had discovered them years earlier. Because I like you, I'm going to end by warning you that you must be very careful when you program the microwave for the number of seconds to heat the mask. Too many seconds and there will be an explosion in your microwave. That will affect how you spend the rest of your day. Lots of love to each of you.
Well, how do you follow that? As many of you know, I was raised Unitarian in the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. My parents tried out a service when I was about 3 years old, and as the story goes, the incredible Bernadette Siegel delighted in toddler Emily and made my parents feel loved and welcomed, and the rest is history. So it would seem that my religious journey began very early in my life, but I think it's easy as a Unitarian Universalist to just go with the flow of the good vibes and not have to think too hard about what you really believe, especially as a kid. But then I met other kids from other religious backgrounds, and as we entered high school in particular, we began to have very deep, very serious conversations about what we truly believed. I was privileged to grow up in a very diverse community of kids in this Central Valley. I had friends who were Christian, but also Buddhist, Muslim, agnostic, and atheist. When it came to defining my spirituality for my friends, as they began to question my beliefs from a place of curiosity, I always found it very difficult to nail the elevator speech. What did it really mean to be a Unitarian Universalist, and how could I give the magic of this place in my life more justice than the descriptor I so often relied on, hippie church? Owning my spirituality and being able to explain it is something that has coalesced for me very, very recently. I consider myself still very much on the journey of defining all of the complexities of what I believe, but one thing I know for sure is that love is at the center of it all. And this clarity really came for me in our faith's discussion of revising Article 2 and the new shared values flower, which I feel so beautifully and simply frames my elevator speech. For those that are unfamiliar, here is the flower. And apologies that the production value of the service drops significantly when Tim is away from the pulpit. The flower shows the values of justice, interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, and generosity, all spiraled around love at the center. Love is at the center. That truly does define my spirituality. There is a reason the great British philosophers known as the Beatles sang, "All you need is love." I believe love is absolutely central to living a good life and being in right relationship with others. I am always so touched by the power of the stories people share about this space being one of the first where they felt truly accepted to be as they are. If that isn't divine, I don't know what is. There is something really beautiful about opening up your heart to love and sharing that love with others. It's freeing, and it's so much of what makes us human. Love allows us to lose our breath at the sight of a beautiful sunset, delight in the wonder of a developing child, and weep when love is lost and we have nowhere for all of that love to go. Right on cue. Those that know me know that I am emotional. I care deeply about others, and I try to approach others with nothing but love for who they are and what they bring to the world. I am far from perfect at this, but I'm so proud to be part of a congregation that channels love into accepting others, fights for racial justice, and cares deeply for the earth, among other causes. My religious belief is that if we can center love, everything else should fall into place. Is it always easy to lead with love? No. Do I need to commit myself to the spiritual practice of love? Yes. As the Reverend Sherry Woodbury writes, love is the center and foundation of this faith. Love is the power that holds us together as a community. Because love is not only something we receive, but something we practice in community, let fall away all that might distract us from the wholehearted practice of love. Let us be accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. As we continue to listen and learn, to act and grow, may each unfold in wholeness, both deeply loving and truly loved. My hope is that by my going out into the world preaching the gospel of love, so the world may be healed by love's restorative power. And to borrow a phrase, may it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
So my spiritual journey starts with getting down, getting up, and remembering to do it all over again. It started with this deep struggle of being who I was and trying to be what the world wanted me to be. I was raised in foster care, and so I was raised by a minister and his wife, holiness Pentecostals, and I was different. And so I had a history of trauma, a history of abuse, and then to add to that history was the rejection of the people I loved so dearly. Years later, after foster care, my pastor sent me to a Pray the Gay Away conference. And there I was, young, naive, in a room full of 1,000 people at this conference. I had struggled for years about my sexual orientation and my gender identity. And my pastor sent me here, and he didn't explain what about, but my parents agreed I should go. So I snuck in at the very back with all these strangers. And then the minister began to speak. And he said, "Some of you need to forgive God for your siblings because you can't help who they are. You can't change it. And some of you need to forgive God for your parents because you can't change who they are and you can't help it." So I thought, okay, that makes sense. Like, okay, I could live with that. And then he said, "Some of you need to forgive God for your gender if you were born in the wrong body." And I had never heard anyone ever say that my gender was wrong. It was just a conversation we didn't have. And when he said that I had to forgive God, I went beside myself. And I started to cry, and I said, "How can I forgive you? That's a pretty bad mistake, God." And then how am I supposed to change it? Because I'm miserable not being me. And in my earnesty, I thought the best thing I could do is scream to the top of my lungs. So I did. Ah! In front of 1,000 strangers. Then I thought, well, what's the next best thing I could do? So I began to run down the aisle, way from the back. Now I'm screaming and running. Ah! And I threw myself in front of the stage, into the carpet, and I began to just weep and scream because I just did not know what to do. Hours later, I woke up in the dark, in a dark auditorium, all alone. I cried so hard I blacked out. And I think I was more hurt by the fact that nobody did anything. I mean, I could have been dead. I was embarrassed, but that wasn't the worst part of it all. And then I got up, I wiped off my tears, and I said, okay, well, I refuse to be one of 1,000. I refuse to be like the 1,000 here who lacked a little kindness, who offered no dignity, no humanity. And I got up from there, and that was a part of my spiritual journey. I vowed never again to be one who would ever ignore the pain of another human being suffering. Years later, I met a wonderful transgender woman. I dated her. I fell in love with her. And I thought, well, what am I going to do about this, you know? And so I went to a conference that I was supposed to speak at, and I invited her to go in her hometown in Louisiana, New Orleans. And I secretly told all of her friends to show up at my talk. So they showed up one by one. But before that, on the way there, thousands of people were walking by in the streets of Louisiana, and I saw a man on the ground, and he was bleeding. And my wife-to-be, because I was planning on proposing at the conference, she looked at me and I said, well, we gotta go. I gotta speak. We gotta go. That man, you know, somebody's gonna take care of him. And she said, baby, it doesn't work that way. And with those beautiful eyes, and she was early in her transition, so she, you know, could be picked out in a crowd. And here was this man on the ground in front of a nudie bar, and I'm thinking, we can't stop here. You're dressed so pretty. You're gonna be on stage with me pretty soon. And she said, it doesn't work that way, baby. I served my country, because she's in the Navy, and then there she was on her knees. She got down, and she started calling out, somebody call 911. 911, call 911. And she started giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And I looked at her, and I remembered all of a sudden who I was. She refused to let this man suffer alone. And all I could think about was her pretty clothes. I gotta speak soon. We gotta get. It all worked out. But your spiritual journey is all about getting down and getting up and remembering who you are. We shed light without spreading fire. And that day, if I had any doubts about proposing to the love of my life, who is now my wife, I lost all doubt that day, because she reminded me of who I was. I've been down, but I can get up, and I can't forget who I was meant to be.
Okay, 2, 3, 4.
What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you sort it out, Alfie? Are we meant to take more than we give? Or are we meant to be kind? And if only fools are kind, Alfie, then I guess it is wise to be cruel. And if life belongs only to the strong, Alfie, what will you lend on an old golden rule? As sure as I believe there's a heaven above, Alfie, I know there's something much more, something even unbelievers can believe in. I believe in love, Alfie. Without true love, we just exist, Alfie, until you find the love you've missed. You're nothing, Alfie. When you walk, let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love any day.
Hola. Hello again. I'm Karen Polnitz, Director of Lifelong Learning. Every week in our church, we take up an offering. It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that the offering is symbolic as well as practical. It is through the financial pledges of our members and friends that we build our budget and fund our yearly programs and ministries of worship and religious exploration, pay our staff and professional religious leaders, finance the comfort and beauty of our buildings and campus, and maintain the activity and interaction of our online campus. But we pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessing of generosity and sharing. Our offering says that the act of giving, as we are able, is as essential to our spiritual well-being as anything else we do here on Sunday mornings. In that spirit, let's join in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? There are many ways to electronically give while the baskets are passed in person in our Alluvial Ave sanctuary. If this is your first or second time with us, please let the basket pass you by. You being with us today is a gift in itself. The morning offering will now be gratefully received. May this church continue to be worthy of the many forms of our gifts.
I just have to say, what's it all about is something I think that might be a good thing for us to think about within ourselves. What is it all about? As we prepare to extinguish the light of our chalice, let us take a brief moment to look at the person on each side of us. And honor that sense of community, that light of hope, and that safe harbor that is this church community. Now please join in our chalice extinguishing words led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Thank you. Surprise. I have a few reminders. Never happens, right? Cecily Callahan is our coordinator of community life. Cecily is the staff member who is here to help you and help new and newish people get connected. Cecily can answer questions, any question, and help orient you to this wonderful place. Now we invite you to stay for our coffee hour, but because of the heat, we will have our coffee hour inside, which means we need to bring in tables and rearrange the chairs on this side of this sanctuary. If you are able, we could use some help making this happen. One of our tables has a sign on it saying visitors. A wonderful member of our Board of Trustees will be there with a warm smile and be able to answer any of your questions. What is it all about? So grab a cup of coffee and stop by to say hello. 2 Sundays from now will be our annual Blessing of the Animals, and stuffed animals too, service. All leashed and crated animal friends are welcome to attend. Now that's Sunday, September 15th. We have a tradition here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. We like to acknowledge those who are with us for the first, second, or third time. We are so happy and honored that you chose to spend this time with us today. So, for those of you who are with us for the first, second, or third time, please stand. I promise that we will not let you stand alone for long. Now let's all join them as we rise, as we are willing or able. Please join hands if you feel comfortable. Yes?
I'm going to do a campus tour afterwards if anybody, I'm sorry, I forgot my sign. If anybody wants to come on the campus tour, meet me right here in the front. I'm going to help set up for coffee hour and then meet me right here and we'll do a campus tour.
I wasn't told that.
I forgot.
That's okay. Good information. Okay, now let us join our hands as we feel comfortable doing so, or you can place your hand over your precious heart for our closing words and sung benediction. May our spirit, renewed and filled by our time together, sustain us during the week ahead until we are joined again. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
2, 3, 4.
Thank you and have a wonderful week.
2, 3, 4.